They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It was a mash. Get on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. Ah-ooh. Ah-ooh. Everybody shout. Come on, let's hang out. It's time for the groovies get together. We're gonna see how funny they can be. Well, it's time for the Groovy Ghoulies show. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, da da. What would Woody do back in '62? Driving classic cars, drinking in the bars, playing all the games, flirting with the dames. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Action! Toys! Channel! Action! Toys! Channel! Anonymity! Anonymity! From the dark on an ark, dogs bark, anonymity, anonymity. They are the men in black. Want you to remember. They are the men in black. Want you to remember. They are the men in black. Want you to remember. Driving faster in my car. Falling farther from just what we are. Smoke a cigarette and lie some more. Conversations kill. Driving faster in my car. Time to take her home. Her deed it is contemplated. Time to take the ride. Leave today, no conversation. Time to take her home. Her dizzy head is conscience laden. Time to wait it all, to wait it all. Conversations kill. Conversations kill. Too much walking shoes worn thin. Too much tripping and my soul's worn thin. Catch a ride, it leaves today. These conversations kill. Falling faster in my car. Time to take her home. Her dizzy head is conscious lady. Time to take the ride. It leaves today. No conversations. Time to take her home. Her head is conscious lady. Time to wait too long, to wait too long. Conversations kill. Conversations kill. And then you find your and then you find your way. Oh, I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and remember still today. I love you still. God bless the USA. Mm. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, da 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 da. Back go, back go, back go. Let's see. What would Woody do back in '62? Driving classic cars, drinking in the bars, playing all the games, flirting with the dames. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Action! Toys! Channel! Action! Toys! Channel! Action! Toys! Channel! Anonymity! Anonymity! From the dog, as dog bark, anonymity, anonymity. Sailing on the ark in star, anonymity, anonymity. Hello, second person. How are you doing tonight? Hello. We finally got somebody else come in with me, huh? Hello. How are you doing tonight? And thank you for the like, and I hope and the share as well. Um. So, how are you doing tonight? Okay, we're just past the 10-minute mark here. Maybe we'll wait a few more minutes. To see if anybody else shows up. Hmm. So, do I have a lurker, or are we gonna have somebody, or You know, I I I I'm glad you're here tonight. Um, just want to wait to see if we can get some more people in here. Wait another 5 minutes. Thank you for showing up. Um, Whoever it may be, how'd your day go today? How'd your day go today? Hope you had a good day today. Um, let's see. As I said, I'm just kind of trying to wait to see if we can get some more people in here. So maybe we can talk if you'd like. And talk. See how you know. See, see now. 11:33. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably as I said, I'll let you know in a few minutes here what we have on tap for tonight. Action Toy Channel. Action Toys Channel. It's kind of lonely in here, huh? Yeah, it is. I mean, it can be when I'm the only one here. Granted, I did get on a little late tonight because I got kind of caught up with some other things, but yeah, unlike other streamers, I don't have the luxury yet of people actually coming on before the stream and chatting it up before I get started. So I have to try to kill. We have three people in here. Hello, third person. I wonder if that's you, ATC. Action Toy Channel. Action Toys Channel. Yeah, I don't know if you took me up on my offer last night to check out what I was doing last night, ATC, but I figured I would go ahead and figured I'd go ahead and I had a little theme for Bat Goats. I figured I'd try to see if I could work on some themes for you guys as well, for at least some of you. So, excuse me a moment while I go off screen for a sec. I don't know where everyone is. Well, I, I know. Well, I understand. I kind of have an idea where they might be. They're probably either on Crow Stream or on probably most likely either on Crow Stream or Nick Stream because with the presidential debate going on, and it looks like we lost the other person who was in here. That kind of sucks, but or they're probably on Nick Stream because with the presidential debate going on, people are gonna probably be wanting to watch that. But um, and we know anonymity usually will come in a little bit later if particularly if he's working. So he might not be here at least until a half hour into the stream at the earliest. But now we're coming up pretty close on 15 minutes here. Um, well, with two of us here, um, okay. Let's see. Once we hit the 15-minute mark, then I think I'll just go ahead and get started because we'll probably have a few. I have a feeling people do come in. They'll probably all be like late, so I'm gonna just go check something real quick. Then I'll be. Okay, no response. All right. All right, so we're past the 15. We're coming up on 16 minutes here. Okay, so here's what's on tap for tonight. I've only got, I basically, some days you have numerous stories, and other days you don't have a whole lot. There wasn't really anything story wise today, even though there was a story that came out on Monday that I'm going to probably cover today. Um, Here in the States, I know you're up there in Canada, so I don't know if you guys had this or not. ATC. How about why not stream the debate? Seems to be the thing. Well, for a couple reasons. One, I don't exactly know how to like interconnect, you know, that thing because I kind of tried to link to some coverage, with sound last about a week or so ago, and the sound wasn't coming through. So that's one thing. Another thing is just simply because we got third person back. Goody. Um, Other thing is, as I said, I try to keep it more to like the niche stuff. Yes, I do get that real world does impact niche as well in terms of how we communicate with it and stuff like that. But but I didn't want to really get like I want to still try to keep it close to focus more on the niche side of things and not get too political or anything like that. And even though a lot of us are on the same wavelength in terms of our ideologies. Anyways, excuse me one more second, and then I'll get to. Okay, so here's what's on tap tonight. So the one story I'm going to cover tonight is story that's been out for the last few days about so here in the states, during the holiday seasons, with this being Halloween season right now, they're usually on broadcast TV. There's usually they'll have like holiday specials around these times of year. Well, it was announced on Monday that the Charlie Brown Halloween special, "It's the Great Pumpkin," Charlie Brown, um, will not be on broadcast over the air TV this year. So I'm going to go over that article from. I'm going to go over the Detroit Free Press article on that matter. Um, so basically, that's the one thing we're going to cover tonight is the fact that it's now. I don't know up there in Canada, ATC, if you guys up there, if you guys watch that at all, if they put that out for you guys as well. But as was stated, as from what I understand, instead of airing it on over the air broadcast, they're going to put it on Apple Plus. So so that's basically what I'm going to cover tonight. Poor Charlie Brown. Yeah, poor Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. You're such a clown. That Charlie Brown. Why is everybody always picking on me? Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. You're such a clown. That Charlie Brown. Why is everybody always picking on me? Another kind of an interesting little wrestling tidbit too. Um, Jimmy Valiant, you know, former WWF World Tag Team Champion. Um, Back, I think it was in '83 or so. He was involved in a feud with the Great Kabuki, and he lost a loser leaves town match. Now, mind you, even when it's a loser leaves town match, the stipulation usually doesn't mean you leave the territory forever. You leave town forever. It's usually it's like a 90-day um, parts are from the area, you know. But to get around that, what he did was he donned a mask. Jimmy Valiant would don a mask and go by the name of during that time as Charlie Brown, which of course led up to their match at the first Starrcade Flair for the Gold in 1983. So there's a little bit of interesting trivia on the wrestling side of it. So without no further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the article, the news article in regards to the broadcast of the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Okay, so here's the article right here, and the headline as it reads. Oh wait, okay. Oh wait. Here we go. Okay. It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown won't air on ABC this year. Moves to Apple TV Plus. The popular Hollywood Halloween special, which premiered on CBS in 1966, will instead air on demand on Apple TV Plus for free from October 30th to November 1st. So basically over the Halloween weekend there. And there's of course the picture of it right there. You see Linus and Sally right there. And a silhouette of what you might say is Snoopy. The Peanuts gang celebrates Halloween with Linus, hoping that he will finally be visited by the Great Pumpkin, while Charlie Brown is invited to a Halloween party by mistake in It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, United Features Syndicate. So here we go. So let's get into the story here. There are three things I've learned. By the way, the writer of the author of this article is Julie, I guess, Hines of the Detroit Free Press. So give her props there. There are three things I've learned never to discuss with people: religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin. Actually, that quote is from Linus, the philosopher of the Peanuts franchise, not me. She's obviously stating this from her point of view. But discuss this I must, because I just got a metaphorical rock for Halloween that's related to the Charlie Brown animated cartoon specials. It has been announced that the Peanuts TV specials that generations of Americans grew up with are moving to Apple TV Plus as part of a new corporate deal. Now this has kind of been going on, I think, for the last few years here. This is one of the reasons why they've been saying for maybe the last few years here that like broadcast television is starting to die out. And I know Yellow Flash and Tug have kind of talked about movie theaters dying out. So a lot of your more traditional forms of media, like movie theaters, television, they're starting to die out. People are finding streaming to be more of a thing than watching on television. In some ways, I mean, you can kind of make your own program lineup with streaming, because just find any site that has any content on it, and then just pick the stuff, and you can select, okay, I'm gonna watch it at this time, So you can be your own program director, basically. So as we continue on here, among other things, this means It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, began streaming Monday for the digital platform subscribers. It will be streamed free October 30th to November 1st. Now, on the whole issue, the holiday specials probably showing up less and less on broadcast TV. I've seen this over the last few years too. I've mentioned before that one of my all-time favorite holiday specials is Yogi's First Christmas, which maybe with there may be no more than like 5 times in my life I've actually missed that special. Okay. Um, but over the last few years, of course, that special too has shown up less and less on on TV, on broadcast, and on cable. So, but anyways, moving as we move along here, as Charlie himself would say, rats. Will no social, political, or cultural norms be preserved in 2020? Can no tradition go unscathed? Is nothing, not even the quest for a pumpkin patch, sincere enough to draw the great pumpkin to his leafy environs sacred? Yeah, that's again, as an old school guy, and that's another thing I just kind of upsets me about a lot of these SJWs. It's like anything traditional is bad. Anything traditional is bad. Let's erase history. Let's erase tradition because tradition is racist. Tradition is phobic. My answer to that, BS. Traditional values, you know, we grew up on do have a solid place in our society, should always have a solid place in our society. The idea of treating others as you'd want to be treated, idea of people actually getting along and not rioting in the street because that the candidate the candidate who won isn't the candidate they wanted to win. Um, anyways, enough of that digression. Let's get back to the article here. Um, it's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown premiered on CBS in 1966, then moved to ABC in 2001. That's more than a half a century of broadcasting the inherent peanut celebration of gentle humor and quirkiness that appeals to both kids and adults. Again, that's one of the things I love about stuff that came out like in the 60s, 70s. I mean, like now ATC, I know you probably, I think you're closer to age than me, so you probably seen this too. You know, a lot of the cartoons that came out in the 60s and 70s were syndicated in the 80s. So those of us who did grow up in the 80s also saw a lot of this stuff, you know. Um, and you look forward every year to seeing a lot of these holiday specials because if anything they provide a break from the nastiness and the craziness of the world we live in. You know, I mean, I would love to see a lot of the broadcast stations just keep these as I mean, they only happen like once a year. It's not like they take up a lot of time. Just let at least people have a little time to just flash back and go back to simpler times. But no, we gotta be progressive. We gotta stomp out all the hate and all the isms and all the phobes. Because according to some people in our society, tradition is racist. Tradition is phobic. And I say once again, BS to that. Look like you had something to say here. I don't think losing Charlie Brown is a major thing. Yeah, it probably isn't. But I think just the idea of just putting something on like the back burner just because it's older or not with current time. There's an old saying there, ATC. There's an old saying: those who do not remember history are doomed to repeat it. So many of the evils of yesterday, if you try to sit there and erase or rewrite history to eliminate something, you're going to ultimately repeat the very evils that you're decrying. So yeah, you're right. Maybe losing Charlie Brown isn't a major thing. Maybe losing each of these type of specials individually is not a major thing. But losing them collectively, losing them as a link to our past and media how media worked at a much simpler time, you know, that's the thing you have to look at there. So, anyways, moving on to the next paragraph here. Um, a rep for Apple TV Plus confirmed to USA, and mind you, they're not really losing. Yeah, losing it broadcast wise, um, but but actually, the author of the article makes a good point here at the end of the article. So, but a rep for Apple TV Plus confirmed to USA Today that the Charlie Brown holiday specials, including a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and a Charlie Brown Christmas, so it's not just It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, it's the other two holiday specials too, are now exclusive are now exclusive to the streaming site where they'll be available to stream this year for free during brief windows. But for devoted broadcast fans, this still means the end of the tradition of turning on the TV and watching Linus's futile quest to see the, the Great Pumpkin. I know what you're saying. What's your problem, Grandma? Um, well, it's rather rude to assume my demographic, much like Donald Trump's estimate of Dr. Fauci's age, is 500 years old. And while the overwhelming majority of Americans have web access, the service is not universal yet. If you're older or economically challenged, or living in a pumpkin patch without good reception, you could say Tug is probably in that boat. Uh, you still may be relying on TV for entertainment, which is true. Older people, you know, may have more of a difficult time finding stuff on the internet. Let's see what you had to say there. I'm pretty sure if someone really wants to watch it, they can look it up on YouTube. Yeah, It probably can. I mean, and I know they can because I've basically done it. Okay. I think the point there is you're kind of losing something though in the tradition. You know, um, that's kind of where progress at times is kind of the negative because as we progress more technologically, you lose a little something in the humanity. Basically, yeah, I get what you're saying there, ATC. Anybody with a computer could look up anything on YouTube or any number of streaming sites and find something to watch. Okay, I do it quite a bit myself. Okay, I know of a few sites that I frequent. Okay, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it from the comfort of their own room. Not not even just their house, but their own bedroom. Okay, I mean, particularly with phones and stuff, you can do it anywhere. You can do it if you're sitting on the bus. You can hook your phone up in your car. You know, I mean, heck, cars have. Now you have like there are some SUVs or vans or whatever that have televisions, or satellites in the cars now. Have direct TV in the cars or something like that. You know, but the problem sometimes with that too is that when television first started back, in the 40s and the 50s, much like radio back then was, it was a communal event. Usually in the very beginning, in the very early days of radio, as well as the very early days of television, not everybody, it's like you may have had one radio or one television per neighborhood. So what you would end up having to do then is if you wanted to go listen to your favorite radio program at the time back in the 40s and 50s or watch your favorite television programs, you actually had to get together as a neighbor and whoever had the radio or television, everybody would gather at their house, you know, and either sit and listen to the radio or watch TV. Of course, we probably can't do that now. We couldn't do that now if we had to because of COVID. But traditionally, there's more of a communal aspect to that kind of gets lost in it all. Debate's over, so we will probably get the regulars in. Yeah, a little a little on the late side because, and again, this is really the only article I could find to talk about tonight. But um, yeah. So give me a sec here. Yeah, but for me, I grew up watching TV back in the '80s. There, I was like, you know, I grew up watching a lot of classic cartoons and a lot of classic television. Yeah, that's still the same thing you just said there. So, ATC, up there where you're at in Canada, what are some of the Halloween specials that you grew up watching? Did you have access or watch It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown? Were there other, like, I know, like there probably been a few like Halloween type specials over the years here in the States, and Casper had one. Um There've been a few of them over the years. But what are some of the Halloween specials that you kind of grew up on? Talking niche, what's going on in the hentai world? Well, I don't believe it or not. I don't really watch a whole lot of hentai. I mean, I've watched ecchi stuff in anime, before. In fact, but a lot of stuff I'm watching is more older stuff. Let's see. Am I actually watching anything right now that is like maybe slice of life harem anime or actually I don't even I think the one slice of life anime I may be watching right now among the stuff I would like to watch. I'm watching Nana as part of my Adult Swim lineup. Um, that's a um, that's Nana. That's the one about the two Nanas, the rocker and the country girl, basically. Not to be confused with Nana 7 of 7. Laugh out loud. Growing up, it was whatever dad wanted to watch or bedtime right after Halloween trick or treating. So, okay. So basically, you didn't even get a chance to watch cartoons. And I tell you, your dad probably didn't watch cartoons either, right? He didn't watch, um, like, he didn't watch any, like, kind of Halloween specials or anything like that, huh? Excuse me a moment. I go off screen. I know a movie that's probably become a bit more of a um, modern Halloween special classic movie, Halloween Town from Disney. They've been playing that one every year for a while. Yeah. He watched wrestling and boring movies. Hmm. Well, let's see, wrestling and boring. Okay, yeah. Well, if that was back in the '80s, that would probably been around the time that or whatever special the local station would play. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of local stations would do that too. You know, have a lot of their own local programming. See, we're we're just past the 44-minute mark right now. Oh, we have some more people coming in. We have a fourth person. Hello, fourth person. We have a fourth person in here. Hello, fourth person. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. It was fun watching the Ultimate Warrior on live TV, and Hulk Hogan was always the all American hero. Yeah, kind of funny, all American hero, and you're Canadian, so that was something. But then Hulk Hogan was just a hero to everybody, though. It was, yeah, he'd come out to real American, but you know, even you know, but you didn't have to be a citizen of the United States to still be a fan of his. Being called an American or idolizing an American was a good thing. Let's see. Oh, Mike, did you hear Crumbion was in the hospital? Um, I didn't. I didn't know she was in the hospital. I I did know that she had gone through some tests for, I guess, COVID. I guess I do know she had some tests for COVID, but from what I last heard, which and I talked to her and Mr. Hop, maybe not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. No, it may have been this past Saturday. Um, I think they said she had been cleared of it. She didn't have it, but I didn't know she was actually in the hospital. Um, Correction, she is in the hospital, not COVID related. Oh, okay, she's in. What happened? Why is she in the? Can you tell me why she's in the hospital? Back down to three people here. She has an abscess in her neck. I'm taking that you mean neck. Wow, we're back down to two of us now. Oh my god, autocorrect. Um, ATC, let me ask you something here. If I were to put the link up for you, would you be willing to come into the studio and we can talk more about it? I want to hear more about it, but I don't want to just having to just simply reading off your tech here. I mean, it says three here. Yeah, it says three now. It was down to two. It was up at four at one point, but here. Um, if I were to put the link up, would you be willing to come in and tell me more about what's going on verbally? Can't find my headset dongle. Hmm. Yeah, and I guess that would be a problem if you didn't want your wife and kids to hear us talking. I guess. Um. Yeah, with today being Thursday, that might mean that. Well, I hope she gets better because um I was gonna have them on, next week, obviously, but I know that hopefully her stay in the hospital is not too long. Um, just over 51 minutes. Got four people. Hello, everybody. Don't be shy if you wish to contribute to the conversation. Ask me anything, or be ready to answer anything. We were, of course, we've been taught. We were talking earlier about how it's a great pumpkin. Charlie Brown is moving to Apple TV Plus from broadcast TV. Um, she posted about on it on Twitter. Well, I don't have on her Twitter. Well, I don't have Twitter anymore, so um, just maybe I'll have to go look that up real quick here. She's no, that's not it. Hmm. On her Twitter. Hmm. I'm trying to find her through the Yahoo on her. I can't seem to find her Twitter account on here. Yeah, let me try something else then. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. It's at Darkside Evie. That's why I couldn't find it before. Eh. Yeah, I just realized that because I went over to the Knuckleheads YouTube page and got it through that. So Dark Side Evie. That's why I couldn't find it before because I was in there thinking at Crumbion, but it's a pinned tweet. Yeah. Okay. So I see I see your tweets right now. Let me just I'm gonna just read these to myself here for a moment here. Just go back and see just how. Okay. All right. I don't necessarily want to post this because I know this is more her personal information. I'm just looking at it more for just so I know what's going on here. The hospital had a CT scan waiting on results. Got an update. Have an access in my net. Okay, abscess. Pressing on my. Oh man, still kicking. Will update soon. Oh man, an abscess right on the jugular. That's like basically over near the carotid artery. That's the main artery that supplies blood to the brain. That's not good to have it there. Not good to have an abscess there. It sounds like I'm going for surgery. Good news is that I am otherwise completely healthy. Well, that's good to hear. She's otherwise completely healthy. Update meeting with a surgeon at 8 p.m. 4 hours ago. So 8 p.m. Eastern, that would have been 5 o'clock my time. So update, we'll be moving to ICU for the night, looking at surgery tomorrow or this weekend. So they're probably not going to have, unless Mr. Hop does it on his own. Um, it doesn't seem like they're going to have Knucklehead stream this weekend. I would imagine they'll probably not because if she's laid up in the hospital, unless she somehow does it from the hospital, that would be interesting. Knowing her, I'm sure she's again. I don't know. Think as far as I understand it, Crumbion identifies as female, so trying to be respectful of that. Um, but yeah, I hope she'll be okay. Um, and of course, ATC, if I am incorrect, please correct me about whether or not she's female. If she identifies as female or male. I don't, you know, not purposely trying to misgender her. That's just from what I understand. That's how she identifies. If I'm wrong, then please correct me so I can be correct. Anyway, there's always someone out there that has it worse. I have chronic, incredibly bad. Oh boy. Uh, guy next to me in the ER. Doc asks, "Any blood in the stool?" Guy, yes. Oh, oh boy. Yeah, somebody has it worse than her right now. Update in the ICU, precautionary because the swelling was obstructing my airflow earlier. I can breathe better now. Surgery likely tomorrow. Yeah, she's gonna probably need the surgery to like remove that abscess. I hope she'll be okay. She IDs as female. Okay. Yeah, I thought she did. I just wasn't sure. If you notice, I hardly ever use pronouns that I just call it crumb or cress. It's just because I wasn't completely sure. But thank you for that. Are you proud red? Yeah, I'm a proud conservative American. Yes, I am. I'm proud to be an American. Excuse me for a moment. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. I'll gladly stand up next to you and remember still today. I love you so. God bless the USA. Little Lee Greenwood right there. Yeah, so we have three people in here right now. Yeah, so well, I hope that she's having a good rest. I hope that whatever that they are able to clear out get rid of that abscess, and she'll be fine. Fine, getting right back to it. ASAP. Um, all right, so we're just past the hour mark here. Let me give you some updates on something now. Obviously, hopefully, I have her and Mr. Hop scheduled for next Friday on here, so I hope they'll still be able to make it. I would imagine so, but I hope so, anyways. Looking forward to having them on to talk Halloween stuff. Halloween specials, memories growing up and all that. The night before Halloween. Not that I think a whole lot of people are going to be out trick or treating anyways, with everything going on. But so that's tomorrow night, or that's for a week from tomorrow night. As far as I know, and I haven't heard back from. I haven't. She hasn't messaged me that she's not going to be able to make it. But Um, so I hope she'll be okay. You know, it says 3. Have a stream leg. Yeah. But aside from that, of course, I'm possibly I haven't heard anything yet. Possibly I might have a guest on tomorrow. Hopefully, if not, so one of two things going to happen for tomorrow night. Either I will have a guest. I'm still waiting to get some kind of final confirmation. Possibly tonight. If they'll be able to come on or not. They're still checking with their work. Um, and if not, I'll be once again opening up the studio to you guys or anybody wants to come in. I think what we're gonna do, really, at least for the next few Fridays that we're together, that where I don't have guests, might continue like what I started like last week. Maybe we'll like look back on some classic comics like we did last week. Maybe I'll like kind of give some commentary on the time period, and maybe look at some synopses, maybe read a story or two, kind of like look at the language that they use and all that. So, so basically that's one of two things that's happened. Oh, who be it? Um, as you know, I usually won't say until I have an actual full confirmation. Because if I say it and then they tell me, well, we can't make it or I can't make it, then that's kind of a disappointing thing for you guys. I usually like to make sure that something is set before I start promoting it, you know. So, but I'll put it this way: if I do get the full confirmation tonight, you guys will know it soon enough because all you'll have to do is just look because I'll edit the I'll edit the title screen. I'll edit the title screen, the description, and you guys will know who it is if I get that confirmation. I'm still, got to wait for the full confirmation. So I'm hoping I do, but anyways, let me just I can go check real quick see if I got any kind of indication there as of yet. Well, no confirmation yet, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll get it sometime tonight though. Um but as I said, if not, then then I'll again open up the studio for anybody who wants to join me. We'll go over some classic comic stuff. So I kind of got it planned either way. And maybe with the extra day over the weekend, some more stories will build up for us to go through the upcoming week here. So next week. So that's basically what's going on now. We're already past the hour mark. My guess is it doesn't really look like I don't really think anybody's gonna show. I think might kind of flip in and out of 3 to 4, but it doesn't look. I think by this point in time, I don't know if anybody's gonna show up at this point because I've already gone through the main article I was gonna go through tonight. Um, so I've already kind of told you what's going on for at least the next 2 Fridays. Um, so so ATC and the other person, you guys ready for this day in each history? I think I'm going to wrap this up a bit early tonight. I'm waiting for your response, of course. And thank you again for letting me know, ATC, about Crumbion as well. I hope she does get through that. I'm sure she will. Yay, history. Okay. Well, okay, here we go then. So let me just review here real quick. Okay, so today is Thursday, October 22nd, 2020. Let's take a look back on what has happened on this day in each history. First stop we're gonna the first stop we're going to hit is up, well, maybe not right near you, my friend ATC, but we're gonna go back 25 years to 1995 on this date in 1995 from, let me see here, from the Winnipeg Arena in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. WWF would host its fourth In Your House pay per view, the Great White North. The main feud going into this event was the British Bulldog pursuing the WWF World Heavyweight Championship from Diesel. In the main event of the night, it saw Diesel retain the WWF World Heavyweight Championship via disqualification loss to the British Bulldog. Also on the event, Razor Ramon would regain the Intercontinental Champion from Dean Douglas. The Smoking Guns would retain the WWF World Tag Team Championship from Razor Ramon they retained the WWF World Tag Team Championship from Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid. Also on the card, on the free for all pre show, Bob Holly would defeat Rad Radford, who is the late Louis Spicolli. Hunter Hearst Helmsley would defeat Fatu. Fatu was the guy you would eventually know as Rikishi. Goldust would defeat Marty Jannetty. King Mabel and Yokozuna would fight to a double countout. And then in some dark matches after the pay per view, saw Henry O. Godwin defeat Psycho Sid, Bret Hart defeat Isaac Yankem, and Owen Hart and Yokozuna defeat Bam Bam Bigelow and Savio Vega. And as I sometimes like to say, 1995 is just so nice that we have to hit it twice. And we have one other thing that came about in 1995 in the world of animation. This is more of a sadder note, however. American actress Mary Wicks, who is the live action model for Cruella de Vil and 101 Dalmatians. She was also Esther Cathcart in Dennis the Menace for 3 seasons, in the live action Dennis the Menace series. She would pass away at the age of 85 on this date in 1995. So Mary Wicks, American actress Mary Wicks, who served as a live action model for Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians, as well as portraying Esther Cathcart in the Dennis the Menace TV series. She was also a sister in the Sister Act movies. She had passed away in, on this date in 1995 at the age of 85. So why not thrice? Well, there have been times when I have hit it thrice, but um, in this case, it's because there was no thrice to be had in this case. Was she hot? Probably in her prime. Probably in her prime. I think. Um, Mary. I mean, when she passed away in 1995, she was like 85 years old. So, um, but I'm sure maybe in her prime, she was probably very, attractive. I mean, if you can go look up some old Dennis the Menace shows, the old black and white ones from like 59 to 62. Um, they said she served as a live action model for Cruella de Vil. So it depends upon how if you find, despite her the character's other shortcomings, if you find Cruella de Vil physically attractive, then yeah, I guess you'd say she's physically attractive. But anyways, now go to the last bit of history here. Going into this will be the last bit of history for the night in the realm of comics. On this date in 2014, which was 6 years ago today, um, the 15th issue of All New X Factor went on sale on this date in 2014, 6 years ago today from Marvel. So on this date, 6 years ago today, 2014, Marvel Comics would put out on sale All New X Factor number 50, the 15th issue of the All New X Factor, with Katie Kubert being the editor of the magazine, the writer being Peter A. David, Carmine D. Giandomenico being the artist, Corey Pettit as the letterer, and Lee Luffridge as the colorist. So that's all that happened on this day in each history, guys. I want to. Oops, hit the wrong button there for a moment. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. I know we had kind of a smaller crowd. I know the debate was going on, so competing against the debate. Plus, I know you asked me earlier why I just didn't cover the debate. Um, Part of it is because I am trying to keep it niche, but also, not everybody may want to watch the debate. If they do, there are other people covering it. Not every, you know, and maybe people want to respite from that kind of stuff. So, um, I may watch some of the post debate coverage once I leave here and just see what people are saying about it. But other than that, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Um, be looking be looking at the title over the next guess it would be the next 20. Let's see, we're at So we're an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half into this. So over the next 22 and a half hours, if there's any changes in the title or the description of this episode, you'll know that I was able to get the person to come on. But other than that, so tomorrow night, one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to have a guest, and we'll be moving forward with that. We'll be having a guest on, or if they were not able to confirm with me, I'll be opening up the studio. You guys can join me. We'll look at some classic comic stuff, probably continuing like what we did last week. So until tomorrow night, guys, bye and have a good night.